Now we're going to move on to gender issues. So do I believe there is a current issue of gender inequality in sport? Yes. Women's sport does not get the same media coverage or money invested or publicity as most men's sport, like rugby or football, for example. You know, you'll see Six Nations for rugby, they'll be playing in these huge, Twickenham 81,000 seats, and it'll be sell out for the Six Nations. Whereas, I don't know if you've seen any of the women's Six Nations, but it's, you know, much smaller stadiums and kind of not even a quarter of the crowd, really. So what effect does gender inequality have on sport? It can be hugely demoralising for women, seeing them doing the same stuff as the men but not getting the recognition or also the pay for it. But also they can, as soon as they get good, especially in athletics, they can often be accused of kind of abusing drugs. But also there was one case where Caster Semenya was accused of being male because she was so good, when in fact she actually only had a medical condition where her testosterone was 3 times higher than a normal female, and the AAF put her through loads of sex testing to check that she was in fact even female, which was hugely demoralising for her, and she eventually sued them for $120 million, but only got $18 million of that. So how has gender inequality been present in sport? Although gender equality in sport is getting a lot better, with women's sport becoming having more coverage and more interest, there is still that gender gap in kind of the interest for women's sport. A top level women's footballer may get around £70,000 a year, including sponsorship, compared to a men's football where, you know, Wayne Rooney's on £300,000 a week, not including sponsorship. So is there any hope for gender equality in the future in sport? Yes. Football's had high profile cases of sexism, for example the Richard Keys and Andy Gray scandal, where they were sexually harassing a female linesman and made sexist remarks. But football has a good record of dealing with these issues. For example, Rio Ferdinand being fined by the FA recently for sexist tweets, and he was also potentially being banned. However, this does not necessarily mean it won't happen again, or it won't be classed as banter as it was with Keys and Gray, and they'll get away with no punishment. But I do think that there is hope for gender equality in sport.